Replacing the bearings in this wheel is not conceptually difficult. Basically, you have to remove the seal, have this little thing here for the speedometer. Then there's a snap ring, and then there's the bearing itself, which has to come out. But it might be a little tricky getting the bearing out. I've heard stories that using a drift can be difficult, but we're going to give that a try. But basically all you need for tools are snap ring pliers, a screwdriver or something like that to get the bearing out, or to get the seal out I should say, and then replacement seals obviously, and obviously the bearings which are on the way, and a hammer. So not terribly difficult as far as tools, but we're going to see how hard it is to get these bearings out. Okay, first thing I'll do is get the seal out. The other side I've already done, but just to show you how I do it. You want to be careful not to scratch the aluminum. And just using a screwdriver, you can just pry it out. Simple as that. Okay, now that I have the grease out of here, the snap ring's actually on the other side. So this is just the bearing here. And if I flip the wheel over, the snap ring, you can see the ears of it are right there. So I need to get that out next. Literally, as I was filming this, the bearings arrived from UPS, so we have those now. So anyway, getting back to this, there's a snap ring in here. I don't know if I can, I might not be able to see it on camera, but there's two little ears. I'm just going to try to get this out, and then I'll show it to you. You might have different pliers to get this, and it's probably a pretty good sized spring. I don't want to lose it, so I'm there. Alright, so there's your snap ring. I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to get on camera because I'm going to have to bang and I'll end up spilling the camera over. But basically you're going to have to take a drift, something like this. I have other versions of it, and a hammer. And I'm going to be tapping on the inside race. What I need to do is slide this down in there, catch the edge of the inside race of the bearing. So I don't want to catch the sleeve, but right there is the edge. And then I'm going to be tapping to try to catch that. And I just got to be careful that I don't slip and damage something around the wheel here. It is a little tricky here, but we're going to give it a shot here. So basically I catch that edge, and I want to see if I can just drive the bearing out. Alright, the drift method got me nowhere. I just don't see how it can be done, honestly. You can't catch the edge of the inner race effectively enough to bang it out. So I'm going to try the next trick, plan B here, which is to use an expanding anchor bolt. These are designed for concrete, and what it is, I don't know if you can see this on camera, but there's just a wedge here at the bottom, and it has this sleeve which goes over a bolt. And that sleeve, when you take a nut and crank down on the sleeve, it's going to hit this wedge and expand outward. And that we're going to place inside the inner race of the bearing. As it expands outward, it'll wedge itself in there. And then I'm going to flip the tire over, or the wheel over, and bang from the other side, hopefully bang the race out. Okay, I've wedged this in here as much as I dare. And now I'm going to flip it around to the other side and use a drift to try to pound out the anchor bolt with the bearing. I don't know if I can do this on camera, but I'll give it a try. I think it's moving. Oh, I'll be goddamn, it worked. Beautiful. Okay, the old bearing actually was made by FAG, a German company. The new bearing is an NSK. They're both official Triumph parts, but to get the new ones in, I'm on the disc side, as you can see. We're just going to get it started like that. And you can use a socket to bang it in, But the important thing is not to touch the inside race. We're just going to touch the outside race with the socket as we bang it in. That way you're not going to damage the ball bearing. So just carefully, this particular socket is almost exactly the right size. So just to get it started, alright. You can also use the old bearing if you want to bang this in to an extent. This particular socket is actually a little bit too big for the hole. So when I get down towards the end here, I'm going to use a smaller socket, and I'm just going to kind of twist this around and get to the edges. I'm using the flat side. Work my way around. This side is the side with the clip here. So you want to get the bearing just down enough where you can get the clip in. And I felt with my fingernail, I think I'm just about there, so I'm going to give this a shot. Try not to lose this clip as you put it in. I usually try to hold my hand over it so if it flies it doesn't go too far. Alright, just almost in. Just make sure we are in here. I think we're in. Okay, this side, don't forget you need the spacer. It'd be easy to forget to put that in. Alright, and that's in, and then we can do the same thing with the bearing that we did on the other side. Last thing to do, of course, is fit the speedometer little clip thing there, and then we'll fit a brand new seal in. When you're putting that bearing in on this side, make sure you don't pound it too far, because just when it kisses that spacer is when you want to stop. Otherwise you'll distort the race on the inner side. So we've done all this, put a little bit of grease in there, we'll get the seal in, seal on the other side, and we're good to go.